Hey everyone and welcome back to LT Gaming. My name is Tom and today we're taking another look at one of my favourite corners of strategy gaming, Grand Strategy. It's been a little while since we've covered it here on the channel, but to be fair, it's not the fastest moving genre. These games take years to develop and often even longer to properly settle in. That said, a few new announcements and some interesting titles on the horizon, I thought it was a good time to check back in. Now, just to set the scene, this isn't a broad list of 4X games. Grand Strategy tends to be a little bit different. It's usually more asymmetrical, so you're not starting from scratch on a blank map with evenly matched factions. Instead, you're stepping into a living world, often rooted in history or heavy lore, and you're going to be managing the big picture: diplomacy, warfare, internal politics, and long-term survival. Sometimes it's less about expanding your empire than just holding it together. We've gone fairly deep here on this list, looking beyond just the big names to spotlight some lesser known titles and a few games that are going to really push the genre in new directions. So if you're into the slow burn, systems heavy gameplay, you should find a lot to like here. And if you enjoy the kind of content we do here, thoughtful previews, a focus on mechanics and a bit of indie discovery along the way, feel free to hit subscribe if you think we've earned it. Right, kicking things off with one that might have flown under the radar, Imperial Ambitions. This one is set during the Age of Discovery and it's aiming for a proper old school grand strategy feel, with some interesting modern twists. You're managing a European power, expanding, trading, colonising and juggling all the politics, logistics and unrest that come with running an empire. What grabbed me here is the level of detail. You don't just move your armies around, you're dealing with a full social hierarchy: slaves, peasants, apprentices, artisans and masters. There's also a strong character layer, so you'll have agents like gentlemen, commanders and shadow masters, handling everything from battlefield tactics to espionage and covert diplomacy. So it brings a bit of personality into a genre that can sometimes feel a bit abstract. Ambitious, no doubt, but still early days, so keep an eye out for this one. Now here's a title that's caught my eye, Beyond Astra. Developed by Nebula Games, this is a real-time 4X sci-fi grand strategy that aims to blend the expansive scope of titles like Stellaris with tactile ground management level reminiscent of classic city builders. Set in a procedurally generated galaxy, the game will allow for seamless transitions from planetary surfaces to the vastness of space, eliminating loading screens and maintaining your immersion. What stands out with this one is the game's ambition to offer a multifaceted experience. Players can customize their civilization's traits, manage intricate economies, and engage in both ground and space combat. The devs have emphasized community involvement, incorporating feedback from their Kickstarter campaign and actively engaging with players during the game's development. This collaborative approach suggests a commitment to refining the game's mechanics and ensuring a polished final product. Now here's a title that's quietly been building momentum, The Last General. It's a solo-developed modern warfare RTS from Alejandro Nunes, an Argentinian developer now based in the US. And it's shaping up to be one of the more ambitious warfare-style projects I've seen in a while. Set on procedurally generated islands of up to 400 square kilometers in size, the game will put you in command of thousands of units. Infantry, tanks, helicopters, artillery, all operating in real time. The idea here is that you're not micromanaging squads, but you're drawing up high-level strategic plans directly onto the map, which your AI-controlled subordinates will then execute. Visually, this game has come quite a long way, with recent updates showcasing improved animations, destructible environments, and dynamic weather effects. The Last General is definitely one to watch if you're interested in large-scale, systems-driven strategy that blends military tactics with political and economic considerations. Now here's one that's been quietly simmering under the radar, Feudums by Calamona Studios. It's an ambitious medieval grand strategy game that will blend traditional 4X elements with a persistent online world, aiming to capture the intricate dynamics of a feudal society. What sets Feudums apart is its commitment to a player-driven narrative. You start at the head of a modest noble house, striving to expand your fiefdom, manage vassals, and navigate the treacherous waters of medieval politics. The game emphasizes a detailed vassalage system where alliances and betrayals can shape the course of your legacy. What's particularly commendable is their stance against pay-to-win mechanics. Feudums is designed to be fair and competitive, ensuring that success is determined by strategy and diplomacy rather than deep pockets. While still in development, there is a demo available on Steam. Feudums shows promise for those interested in deep, socially driven grand strategy experience. Now this next one's a bit of a mystery wrapped in potential, Eminence. If you've been following grand strategy circles over the past few years, you might have seen this name pop up. It's a historical grand strategy game that aims to model the entire early modern period from the 17th century through to the 19th, with proper real-time world simulation and player-led storytelling. Imagine the ambition of Victoria with the personal depth of Crusader Kings, all running and living in this continuous sandbox. That said, progress has been slow. Development paused for a while, but as of February 2025, the team has confirmed they're close to resuming full-time work and aiming to get back on track this summer. No firm dates yet, but the signs are hopeful. What keeps this one on top of my radar is the sheer scope. No predefined start dates, no railroaded factions, just a world you shape from the ground up through diplomacy, economy and cultural influence. For now, Great Eminence remains one to watch, a slow burner, but possibly something quite special if it sticks to the landing. Now here's one that's been quietly developing, but shows a lot of promise: Master of Command. Set in the 7 Years' War, this real-time strategy game will place you in command of one of 5 major powers: Prussia, France, Britain, Austria or Russia. What sets this one apart is it's a blend of procedurally generated campaigns and detailed tactical battles, giving you a fresh take on 18th century warfare. One of the standout features in this game is the customization options. You can personalize your army's flags, uniforms and equipment, creating a unique identity for your forces. This level of detail extends to the campaign map, which spans from Scotland to Hungary, providing a diverse range of terrains and strategic challenges. While Master of Command is still in development, it does have a planned release date for this year. The devs have been super active in engaging with the community through devlogs and updates. If you're interested in a grand strategy game that combines authenticity and deep tactical gameplay, this is one to keep an eye on. Looking at Ascendance next, this one is developed by Torch Drive. Ascendance is a real-time space strategy that will blend grand strategy management, 4X gameplay and RTS ship combat, set in a vast seamless galaxy. The game will offer players the opportunity to lead their civilization through exploration, colonization and intense space battles. What's looking to set this one apart is its deep simulation of political and economic systems. Players can navigate internal politics, manage supply and demand driven economies, and engage in nuanced diplomacy. It will also feature dynamic physics-based ship combat, giving you an emphasis on tactical position and predictive targeting. This one is still in development with a planned release date of 2025, and Ascendance is really shaping up to be a compelling addition to the grand strategy genre. It has ambitious scope and an attention to detail that make it a title worth keeping an eye on for fans of deep strategic gameplay in a rich sci-fi setting. Now here's a title that's generated quite a bit of a buzz in the grand strategy community: Espiocracy. Developed by Ex Vivo Studios and published by Hooded Horse, Espiocracy is an espionage grand strategy game that places you at the helm of an intelligence agency from one of 74 playable countries. Set against the backdrop of the Cold War, the game allows you to influence ideologies, stage coups and wage proxy wars, all from the shadows. What's looking to set this one apart is its focus on subterfuge over direct military confrontation, deploying agents to manipulate public opinion, supporting political factions and even orchestrating assassinations. The game features over 30 types of operation, giving you a diverse range of strategies to achieve your objectives. While Espiocracy is still in development with a planned release date in 2025, the depth and ambition showcase make it a title worth keeping an eye out for. If you're a fan of grand strategy games and you want something a bit different, a focus on espionage and political intrigue, then this is the game you should wishlist. Gilded Destiny is a grand strategy game set during the transformative era of the Industrial Revolution. Players will take the helm of a chosen nation, guiding it through industrialization, political upheaval and global conflicts. What looks to set Gilded Destiny apart is detailed simulation of societal transformation. The game will feature a globe composed of over 1 million hexes, reflecting real-world biomes and terrain types. This will allow for strategic placements of cities, buildings and railways, directly influencing military campaigns and industrial expansion. The economic system is also looking intricate, simulating production chains, supply and demand and global trade. Players will be able to establish vast production networks, converting raw resources into finished goods. Controlling your supply lines to dominate the global economy is the name of the game. Additionally, it will offer full world editing and modding tools, empowering players to reshape history or create entirely new scenarios. definitely one to be on the lookout for. And finally, LT gamers, we arrive at Europa Universalis V, the long-awaited flagship from Paradox Tinto, officially announced in May after years of speculation. This entry will mark a significant evolution for the series. The starting date will be pushed back to 1337, right on the cusp of the 100 Years' War, which means over 5 centuries of playtime, from medieval feudalism to the early industrial era. Paradox is aiming to capture the full sweep of modern history. What's really intriguing is the shift towards simulating populations and societies. Trade, economy, logistics and internal stability are being rebuilt around living population models, so you're not just painting the map, you're managing the people who live in it. Also a new approach to game flow, an option to automate parts of your nation, say leaving economic policies to the AI while you focus on war or vice versa. If that system works well, it could give both newcomers and grognards a bit more breathing room to engage in the parts of the game they enjoy the most. Now if I'll be honest, this one has me properly amped up. I put thousands of hours into the EU series over the years, from EU1 through to EU4, and its massive expansion libraries along the way. Yes, there's going to be a lot of DLC, but to finally see Europa Universalis V becoming real and promising this much depth is genuinely exciting. No solid release date yet, but we're likely looking at 2026 in my opinion, but with one of the most important strategy games on the horizon, I want them to get it right.